First, a bill described as the most comprehensive plan to address homelessness in recent years is now in the hands of Governor Phil Scott. But even with support from many lawmakers and advocacy groups, some are concerned that the governor will veto this one. H91, also known as VHERF, would phase out the state's hotel-motel program over the next year and replace it with a more city-run, community-run shelter system.
It will allow for municipalities or for regions to develop their own way that they address homelessness.
Now, if this bill does become law, either through Scott's signature or a veto override, the Department for Children and Families and the Agency of Human Services would oversee the implementation of it. The hope is that it would be fully up and running by the year 2027. A Rhode Island man is now facing federal charges connected to a shootout in the Northeast Kingdom. A federal grand jury indicted 32-year-old Brendan Sackle, accused of firing a machine gun at Border Patrol agents. Charges stem from a July 14th car chase that started in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire and ended in a shootout in Burke. An arraignment date has not yet been set. The Trump administration released the names of 500 cities that it believes are standing in the way of the president's mass deportation agenda, and on the list included Burlington, Winooski, and Montpelier, as well as Lebanon and Hanover, both in New Hampshire. Burlington and Montpelier's mayors have each responded today, saying they haven't broken any laws. We will have more on this story, including some reaction from Burlington City Council President Ben Travers, coming up later tonight right here on ABC 22 News at 11. Part of a group of migrant construction workers have been detained by ICE in Newport, and they may be held at Northwest State Correctional Facility. The Vermont Asylum Assistance Project says 10 were arrested at a work site, and they say about 5 had proof of their status and could be released because they had that proof on them. The group says all of them are reportedly authorized to work in Vermont and the U.S. And VAAP also says that ICE transferred 7 women from Chittenden Regional. They were on a plane to Chicago that continued on to Washington, D.C. So a lot to unpack with this one. We'll update you as we hear more. The Carpenter Flats Bridge in AuSable is now known as the Captain Christopher J. Garrow Memorial Bridge, renamed to honor the Peru native New York State Trooper and 9/11 first responder. He lost his life in 2023 from illness related to the terrorist attacks.
The bridge is more than a dedication. It is a reminder that life is precious. It has been granted to us, and even in the toughest of times, family and community is simply why we are here.
And Garrow left behind a loving family, a community that he loved, and a legacy forever immortalized now by this bridge. A funeral procession and memorial service will be held tomorrow for former South Burlington Fire Captain Gary Rounds. Rounds died back in February. The service will happen at 11 at Overlook Park, and a procession will be held just beforehand. The fire department says events will happen rain or shine, and Captain Rounds was 72 years old. Well, visits to take in all of the southern charm that you can handle are now boarding. Non-stop trips between Burlington and Charleston, South Carolina started today. Flights will be Mondays and Fridays, and this is now the 5th non-stop flight that Breeze offers from Leahy BTV. Breeze began offering flights to and from Burlington for more than a year now, and that was tonight's top 7.